lot, actually. I was raised by the Super Nintendo era in the kind of 64-bit 3D gaming era. There was something to take up my time initially, but they influenced almost every aspect of my life relates back to either video games or comic books. I draw because I was a huge Sonic fan and I loved his design, so I began to emulate, the style of art from the early Sonic the Hedgehog games. I'm a musician because of Power Stone and Marvel vs. Capcom, Sonic Adventure 2, Jet Set Radio, and stuff like that really inspired me as well. Even though they're looked at as something to do in solitude, the games that I play at least tend to bring people together, and because of that, I'm a decently social person. Not as much as I'd like to be, but I'm a decently social person. They influenced a lot as far as who I am and what I do, and everything involving that.
Games that have a lot of text I get into because it's very story driven, and I'm really into the characters more than the actual gameplay. If the game has cool artwork and it's visually stimulating or different in any way, then I'm gonna be more into it. Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite game series because it's got the story aspect, but it's also it's not about being a badass, it's more about just going through puzzle dungeons. People that are from older generations, I guess, think of it as when you're playing a video game, you're just looking at a box, a screen, and it's not actually stimulating in any way. But rather be doing something our friends, we all get together, we're all talking, having conversations, and we're still playing just a game. You know what I mean? It's just different type of game, and it's not fucking cards, card Scrabble. It's an actual, you're doing something that means more to us anyway.
Ever since I was little, video games have just occupied a lot of time for me, just because I enjoy that escape from reality, and you're not able to really act on certain emotions in real life because you seem crazy, and I guess one of my biggest appeals is you can just kill shit. There's nothing telling you in some video games that you can't just kill whatever you want or break things. There aren't really rules in them. You can kind of do whatever you want, and it's just fun. It's a fun way to just, I guess, bond with friends and everything, because there are a lot of group games, ones that you can do team-based things, and that's always fun. A lot of my friends, whenever we hang out, we just end up playing video games together, and it's always a good time. Everyone has fun.
I feel like I can attribute a lot of the reason to why I'm making art now, and why I'm in art school, and why I'm doing all these art things back to when I was 3 or 4 years old, drawing pictures of Link and Zelda and Pikachu and Kirby. There's a lot of inspiration that has come from video games for me. Taking all the characters and the worlds and getting wrapped up in them and be able to make your own content from it, or content inspired by it. It's also a big friend thing, because take Monster Hunter for example. It's a game that's really based on co-op and strategy and working together with your teammates, and that's made 100 times cooler if you're doing it with people that are really important to you, that you're really chill with. It's the best thing, when your teammate does something really cool, stun a monster, and you're just oh, nice. You just gotta be oh man. If you don't do then are you really playing Monster Hunter? That might just be me. Yeah, some of the best times I can think of with video games are times that I've had with my friends, and some of the best times I've had with my friends were with video games. It's a really great way to spend time with your friends and to get to know your friends and meet new friends and things like that.
I think video games and the surrounding culture have started. They were started as this place for rejects, this place for outcasts, or people who didn't exactly fit in to a lot of the norms of the society. It was this place for people who were unapologetically excited about things all the time. They were excited about these games and about this technology and the powers and the limits of this technology. And it's interesting to see how that's changed from way back in the 70s, 80s, 90s to now, because I still think for the most part it holds on to a lot of that. And I think there's something entirely pure of a group of people getting together in someone's basement or in someone's living room or wherever, and huddling around a console or a small TV and playing a game together and sharing that experience together. When you go to a tournament, to PAX or EVO or wherever, even a conference like E3 or something, you're surrounded by these people who all share this common interest, this love for technology, and this love for what can be done with it. And I feel like that is something that's so pure, and that's something that should be protected, and that's something that I hope people will keep experiencing as technology changes, as new things come out and things become more advanced. I hope that that still remains a part of this love, of this community,